What do you guys mean the first month of 2024 is already over? What do you mean? What? Where? How? When? Somebody please, somebody explain to me because I feel like I'm losing my entire life in a month. What? Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katerina and welcome to my channel, and today I have for you the first wrap up of 2024. So not a very original video thingy, but welcome to the new year. Again, for those of you that haven't watched any previous content that I may or may not have uploaded, if I feel so intended to and inclined. So yeah, I just want to tell you guys hello. I just want to tell you guys what I've read in January, and without further ado, maybe we should get into it because I'm trying to do less rambles and more content this year. Let's see how I get on. Probably terrible, but I hope you stick around to see that. So already in the beginning, let's just get my Kindle read out of the way because I will have to insert here a little thingy and then it's already done. So I am talking about The Watchers by A.M. Shine. Here is going to be the cover. So if you don't remember, which you probably don't, and that's okay, I don't blame you because I read a lot of books, I have read The Creeper by A.M. Shine. It was an arc that it was provided to me and I absolutely fucking love it. It was Irish folk horror and it had to do with this creature, the Creeper, that would appear to you 3 times, getting closer and closer with this big smile on his face, and then you would die or disappear or whatever. And it was just so creepy. It was set in this little city and then it followed our main characters and it was just really cool. I was shivering all around. And then I decided that I was going to read The Watchers by A.M. Shine because yes, I just loved it so much. And The Watchers was great. It was. The writing style of A.M. Shine is perfect. This author just uses prose and purple prose in a way that normally in horror books you don't see. And because all of the tales that this author just provides you are based on folkloric legends, it kind of has this little something of magical and beautiful, but at the same time very horrific, like those classic fairy tales that are really, really troublesome and really, really horrible. That's going to be A.M. Shine's books. However, the problem with The Watchers is that the major plot twist of the thing, I guessed it right away. Like, from the beginning of interactions that happened, I guessed that plot twist. And so for me, I was just waiting for the time that I would be presumably right. And I don't think that it was so scary and creepy as The Creeper. The Creeper made me want to look back and think there's something behind me, there's something on my window, there's something wherever I would look, there's going to be a face looking at me. The Watchers was more of like a woods horror, which is fine, I like it, but it wasn't as impactful. However, the book is great, and if you can, I think you should read this author because I really love the work and I'm hoping for a new release for this person, so we'll see. Then I made a video reading first volumes of mangas that I had around just so I could make some content whilst I was dying doing my PhD thesis, which is over, by the way. And one of those was a little bit of a major disappointment, let's just say. And that was The Blade of the Moon Princess by Tatsuya Endo. This is volume 1. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading this, which is kind of stupid because Tatsuya Endo wrote Spy Family, which is one of my favorite manga series, and also Tista, which I've made a review for and will leave linked up above, which is a duology and it's very dark but also really cool. Blade of the Moon Princess, it's supposed to be, if I remember this correctly, a retelling of the tale of Kaguya. It's a Japanese tale which I'm not familiarized with, and for that reason alone, it can be the thing that it's making me feel a little bit not as great about this. However, I have never seen Tatsuya Endo losing his pace like he's losing here. there are things that are supposed to be funny, then things that are supposed to be really dramatic, then things that are supposed to be very sci-fi-ish, then things that are supposed to be very historical, and all in the span of 10 pages. And I think it's too much. I think that our main character is bratty, and I do know that's the point, and the point is that she's going to learn how to be the Princess Hair and return to the moon and save her subjects and her kingdom. I don't give a fuck if this person is going to save her subjects or her kingdom. I don't like her. And that's fine. I mean, there's been a lot of unlikable characters. I just don't vibe with her. I don't give a shit about her. The people that she's meeting, I don't give a shit about them. The art style in this, it's strange compared to Spy Family and compared to Tista. I don't know. It's not that I don't like it, but it was just, nah. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know if in 2024 I want to be spending time with manga series or books, for that matter. So I will get back to you if I read the second volume or not, but disappointed. Very disappointed. I did not enjoy it. Then I read Twisted Wonderland, which is kind of a Disney sort of adaptation in the manga, and it's the first volume of Book of Heartslabyul. We'll never know how to say this. Also, the sun is setting, so sorry for the change of lighting. And the original concept was by Yana Toboso, the storyboards are by Wakana Hasuki, and the art is by Samir Kohono. So there's cool art here, I like it. The premise of this is pretty cool, which is this human that is preparing for this kendo competition, and he sees himself teleported to this world of characters of Disney. But he doesn't know they're characters of Disney, and they don't know him. And he's like, yeah, I'm from Japan. And they're like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is Japan? So they think that he's there because he's the one with a magic that the mirror in the wall has prophesied that is going to come here and solve shit in this world. And is going to be a new student of this school of magic where a lot of descendants or people from the worlds of the Queen of Hearts, for instance, or like the Savannah and descendants from Scar, and they're descendants from villains, sort of Disney. So it's pretty cool. And those people go there and they study there, but this dude has no magic. He's like a human, like you or me. He's like, I don't know, I don't give a shit, I don't even know what magic is. And so they're like, until you find your way home, because you kind of have to, we will lend you this haunted house where you can live. And he's like, oh shit, I love ghosts. And the ghosts are like, shit, we're going to hunt this man down. And then he's like, I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. We're going to work together to make this house better. And they're like, fuck. And it's just so fun. And the ending of this left a fucking cliffhanger in which we are kind of seeing the villain of this main story. So I do want to continue. I think it's not the best in terms of plot wise. It has some weaknesses, but it's fun and it's great, and it has a lot of Disney thingies, which, you know, for me, it's pretty great. And then I started entering in the downward spiral of death, pain, and beautiful art style. So the next one that I've read is called Soloist in a Cage, Volume 1, and this is by Shiro Moria. Let's just. And this, I shit you not, is one of the most beautiful art styles that I've ever seen. It's raw, it's realistic, but also beautiful. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know. Let me just see if I can show you some patterns and thingies. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm trying not to spoil you. But yeah, it's great. And this tells the story of this little orphan. She's called Chloe, and she has this little baby. I don't remember his name, which is her brother. And her parents just... this is important. She lives in this city that is a prison. So this city is walled, and basically all of the worst criminals in the world go live there. And because they never get out, they start building families, and so kids are already born in a place of violence, death, and horrors. Basically, if you go out at night alone, you are mugged and killed. that's it. And if you're a child, it's even worse, because there are things that are done to children in this. Jesus. So trigger warnings for almost sexual assault on page, cannibalism, dismemberments, violence, killings, and something like that. And her parents just get the fuck out. She doesn't know if they're dead or if they just don't care about them anymore. And she lives with her little baby brother. And the neighbors across from her are the ones that leave food to her. But they are planning to actually escape the walls and escape the city. And so she decides she's going to escape too. However, while she's doing that, something horrible happens that will change the course of her life forever. And I don't want to tell you anything else, because I do actually recommend Soloist in a Cage. I gave it 5 stars. I have the second one to read, and I will read the third one, which I believe is the last one, and I will definitely do a review on the entire series, because I absolutely love this. It is so painful, but also so beautiful visually, and it has hope. You know, it has some hope in a horrible world, and I absolutely loved Soloist in a Cage. So if you've never read it, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go and read it. Be careful with your warnings though, and it's great. It's beautiful. And then I dived into complete madness and attempted to kill myself by reading The Horizon, Volume 1, The Horizon, Volume 2, and The Horizon, Volume 3, final volume, all by G.H. This is a manhwa series, and this is not just heavy because the paper is good and it's actually fucking heavy. This is heavy because you have no hope reading this fucking series. I don't recommend this series to everyone. I will do a review just on the series alone, but if you suffer from depression, if you have attempted suicide and are still suicidal, do not, I repeat, do not, and this is not to be funny, do not read The Horizon if you're feeling like that. It is not for you. It is not the time for you to approach this. And even though the art style of this is absolutely beautiful, it is also way more disturbing and painful for that. Also, if you cannot see violence, especially directed to young children, but also ethnical cleansings, disease, family separations, death, a lot of on-page death and a lot of violent on-page death, do not, also sexual assault attempt. If you cannot see that, manipulation, existentialism crisis, if these are trigger warnings for you, do not pick this up. Do not. I personally tend to think that the idea of, and I'm going to hold on to the first one, the idea of this mini-series is to absorb you in what it is to feel so much despair, so much sadness, so much horror, that when it reaches to the ending point, you are absolutely broken into pieces. And only after that can you learn what actually the horizon means and what actually the ending is proposing to you. Only after you've suffered as much as people nowadays are suffering. And I cannot compare the experience of reading a book to the actual experience of war, famine, grief, and all of that. But only after seeing that and feeling that, and if you're an empathetical person, understanding it, then only after that can you try and rebuild what you think and how you act. This is an essay on existentialism. This is an essay on what does it mean to be alive and why should we live. And so it's not great for everyone, and it's extremely dramatic. And also, it is very similar to what is happening in Gaza right now. And for that alone, I think that if you have the guts to read this, the problem is not the same. I already tell you, the problem is not the same. But if you have the guts to read this, if you have the guts to try and understand the suffering of those children, of those people, read it. And the art style deserves to be seen. There are pages in color, and there are splashes of color in the midst of black and white, but mostly this is black, white, gray, shadowy, because that's how you're supposed to feel. And do I recommend it for its pure artistical value? Yes. Do I recommend it as something that you should treat yourself and read? No. And I think that if you go into this, you should go into this thinking about the conflicts that are arising at this moment while we're speaking throughout the entirety of the world, the possibility, the very real possibility of a third world war, the problems that people are facing, the suffering in Palestine and everything like that. And, you know, think about that. And think about how we live in a privileged world and we never had to go through this except for the pages of this book. And after you think about that, think that not everyone is as fortunate as you. And please don't feel depressed and don't feel like I'm lecturing you. I'm also in a privileged position. But this destroys the barriers that we try to keep from the people that are actually suffering and we only see as those people in the news. So for that alone, I would recommend it. But for the rest that I've said, if you cannot, I don't think it's a particularly happy experience. If it is one of my favorite reads already in the year of 2024, yes. If it will probably reach the best mangas that I read in 2024, yes, I have no doubt. If that means it should be devoured and read without any thought and by anyone, no. But yeah, I will make a review about this, so I don't know why I'm spending so much time. Yeah, I haven't said what this is about, but if you want to know, you will watch that review that will come out maybe after this video. Shameless plug. So yeah, guys, those were all the books, let's just say mainly mangas, that I've read this month. I'm losing daylight, so that's going to be all for today. If you like this video, leave a like or subscribe, and hopefully more content is coming your way for the rest of the year. So that's going to be all for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye!